Thank you so much, Benson, for that brilliant welcome, I should say. And a very good afternoon to you, my co-host for There is a Whistle Time Show. And I should say, good afternoon, viewer. You're most welcome to There is a Whistle Time Show. Of course, today is a Friday edition of the show. I should say it's a weekend edition of the show. We could be out there having a lot of our weekend programs, probably, because, of course, when it is a weekend, people are excited with the draws that actually took place last night. I saw a lot of the draws circulating all over. There is a social media here and there. And if you look at a certain clubs, I would say they have been pitted in a group of death, I should say. It left me wondering if really some of the teams will come out of they will come out of the group stages, I should say. And then on Duparaka today at 4 p.m., those of you out there that who love local sports, I should say, by 4 p.m. you should all be heading to, there is a green light up at Stadium. On Duparaka Football Club has a friendly up against, there is a Arua City Select side. That game will be today at 4 p.m. And recently they also had a friendly, by the way. The friendly was with the Airfield Select. That game ended at 4-0 in favor of Duparaka. They have been doing quite so well. It was only that the first game where they had issues, I should say. The first game they played with United Brothers. That game ended 1-1. Duparaka scored an equalizer with a penalty. And then the second game they played with Airfield Select. It ended also 4-0. And then the third was this recent one they played. And then they are playing today actually at 4 p.m. I don't know if we're also waiting to see a 4-0 or I don't know if Arua City Select will get to beat them, because by the way, there are a lot of new faces or old faces that maybe the fans out there of Duparaka who thought maybe these guys had left. But recently, the game they played on Wednesday, I was able to see Bida Ezra, I was able to see Gama, even the other time Difuna was then, all that. But you can bear witness with me that some of these players have their deals have not yet been confirmed. Duparaka itself has not come out to give us an official statement about these very guys being confirmed. So what are we expecting out of today's game? Arua City Select side up against Duparaka, a build-up game at 4 p.m.
Yeah, first of all, I am looking at a tense game between the two sides, because you take a look at the players that will be coming within Arua City. These are not going to be easy players, because star players that they are residing within Arua City, they are going to come together to see that they face a strong Duparaka, rejuvenated Duparaka, because the statistics you have given very clear that the initially friendly games at the beginning, they were not performing very well in them, unlike the friendly game they had with the Tanganyika Select, where they went on to win the game by 4-0. Trust me, the game on the park is going to play with Arua City Select. It's going to be a hard one. Why am I saying so? Because these players that are going to feature for Arua City Select will also be seeing the same faces that featured for United Brothers, because United Brothers are also a team that is based in Arua City. So similar players will be seeing them facing the team of Duparaka. It's going to be a hard one. And also that disappointing first game they played, that one although they had that by then the team was still disorganized, but it's now 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think the team is now organized. It's going to be a hard one. At the end, Duparaka will win the game, but I don't see the scoreline. I don't see so many goals being scored coming in the game from the side of Duparaka. And so leaving that story, I should say the month which has just come to an end, the month of August, has been a good one for the whole country of Uganda in different sporting fraternities. Why am I saying so? Just yesterday, the ongoing T20, normal when we talk about T20, know that we are talking about cricket. It is the short form for T20. They have been taking part in the tournament. 3 countries within the region of East Africa, they have been taking part in the tournament. Uganda was one of them, the champion. We had Rwanda, not forgetting about Tanzania. In total, they played the 12 games, and out of the 12 games, they only managed to in fact win 11. Only picking 1 defeat. That defeat came 11 days, in fact 9 days ago, when they were beaten by Tanzania, and it has been Rwanda hosting the tournament, and the city where this particular tournament has been played, it has been in Kigali. Why am I saying that the month which has just ended has been a good one for Uganda? Because you talk about the women's World Cup. For netball, they performed very well. You also talk about Afrobasket, that was also hosted by Rwanda. They also performed extremely well. What about the World Athletic Championship? They have also been performing very well. Finishing 11th is something not easy. And the recent concluded tournament, T20, also performing very well. And out of some of the tournaments, it has been Rwanda hosting these tournaments. The FIASA Games, Federation of East African Secondary School Ball Games, it has been Rwanda hosting it. You talk about Afrobasket, it also went down in Rwanda. The T20, it has been Rwanda hosting, and also not forgetting about the FIASA Games. Also, Ugandan schools dominating. The last month has been a good one for Uganda.
It has been quite a very good one for, there is a team Uganda in all aspects of sports, I should say, be it football, both women and men, be it there is netball. Our she cranes, the girls did us so proud. Like you said, when it came to the gazelles, there is in Afrobasket, we also performed very well. We finished 7th. There is by the way of the globe, but our gazelles have been rated 7th. And then in netball, we are 4th, and then first in Africa. So it's quite a very good one. And then when it comes to when it comes to rugby, there is one sporting activity that actually missed. Rugby, we also are performing quite very well. There are a lot of rugby tournaments, the circuits, Nile Special Sevens that have been organized across the regions for the different regions across. You'll equally also see our Ugandan side have been doing quite so well. And then also, I think another good news is that a lot of our players have been moving out. There is within the football fraternity. We've had with the most recent being Ajaib Nafiana Liozi from URA crossing a boundary. So August generally has been quite a very good one. It has been quite a very good one. Recently in Rwanda, the trophy was able to come in the FIASA. The trophy was able to come down to Uganda, and then in the FIFA women's also, we've been doing quite so well. So I remember us discussing cricket, where we said our team had more representatives by I think 2 compared to these other countries. And you had initially actually had said that it was of an added advantage that our team had registered more participants compared to these other sites. But then I brought in a little doubt that time. I remember saying that our country could actually have more participants, but then if the experience is not there, these people that had actually registered a few participants would come in and beat us. That is Team Uganda. But then today, waking up to the news that actually Uganda was the overall winner in there is the cricket. There is quite a very good one. I really don't know. Yesterday we discussed the sports budget. I think there is one thing that is quite pushing the sports fraternity to do quite so well. You now see that since a few members have been pushed to parliament, there is to represent sports. We have been seeing quite some figures, okay, that have been allocated to there is the sports fraternity, I should say, or sports department, which has actually also brought in a lot of positive results. We are seeing a lot of the Ugandan flag being raised there, be it a local tournament, being an international tournament, and all that. We are doing quite so well. So I don't know if this is attributed to there is the budget allocation or something of that sort, maybe.
But of late we have seen, we saw recent complaint coming from the Sequence players because their allowances have not been given, their pre-season allowances have not been given, and they have been complaining here and there. We are watching the space closely, and how far it will go, and they will come to an end. Will also be in person to tell you, and that's not the end of the journey for the Ugandans in T20 or in cricket. The biggest tournament is still coming ahead of them in the World Cup qualifiers, T20 World Cup qualifiers. It will be in the month of November. We will be in person to see if our Uganda can be in person to proceed to the World Cup of cricket. And also the new month has started, like you have said, today is already 1st of September, and we have a very huge tie coming ahead of us. It will be on Thursday, a game up against Niger. Are we going to see Uganda performing very well like how they performed last month? Because this one is going to be a determination game, whether we'll be in person to go to the AFCON 2023 that will be hosted by Ivory Coast starting from the year of 2024, month of January to month of Feb.
I'm seeing a little change. There is with the team of Lorries Uganda. Much as initially the qualifications or even pushing through to, there is a big ties all leagues in or continental leagues. I have not seen there is a team Uganda doing quite so well, unless otherwise it is the ladies and yeah, basically it has been the ladies doing quite well. But this time around, I think Team Uganda has known where its weaknesses are, and they've been there. The group stages, the qualifiers, the what, they have been there several times, and you know, this time around, we are really expecting something great that probably could come out of them, because I should say they needed to at least use in their vast experience that actually they have been having for quite some time. Because now, if every other time you keep going and bouncing back, you're not winning your games, you're not, meaning you're not learning from you're not learning from your mistakes, unless otherwise you want to turn into the Bourbon monarchy in French, where it's always said in history they learned nothing and forgot nothing. So I am actually seeing Team Uganda, at least this time around, doing something quite positive, because by now they should have learned where the mistakes are, they should have known where the weaknesses are, they should have known where the loopholes are, and they needed to tighten on to the loopholes based on the period that has actually been left for them to do the preparations ahead of the qualifier.
You know, as you say, the Ugandan players of late, they have started picking it very well. They are performing very well. I remember it was on Monday, one of our players who has already left Gor Mahia to go to a league in North Macedonia. I'm talking about Safiki Kadzimu. He scored a goal. Unfortunately, his team, that's Rabonika, was beaten by the team, that's Skenza. And also, we have seen brilliant performances coming from our own player that is playing in MLS Major League Soccer for a team called New York Red Bulls. New York Red Bulls. This player was signed from Wakiso Giants in March, and he was taken to the reserve team of New York Red Bulls, and there, because of his performances, he played so many games and scoring 15 goals and providing 4 assists, and that one has already earned him a spot into the first team of New York Red Bulls. And in one of the games they had played, he has performed very well. And Susie, before we go for the first half break, as I said, 2 big contents international, we need to talk about it. The draws of UEFA Champions League that was done yesterday, the draws for the UEFA Europa League Conference will also be done today. And at the same time, the summer transfer window is shutting down tonight. We need to discuss 2 big stories, and at the same time, in the second stanza of the show, we'll also be picking calls from the viewers. They'll also be giving their opinions on the draws of the UEFA Champions League. What are they expecting tonight? Will there be drama? And before we go for the first half break, I need us to look at some of the done deals. And Manchester City, they have already completed the signing of Matthew Nunes from Wolves at a fee of 57 million euros. And at the same time, Chelsea has already confirmed the signature of Cole Palmer from Manchester City at a fee of 42.5 million pounds. And Kevin De Bruyne is already out injured. Rod is a babysitter, but no backup. Gundogan left to Barcelona. We have been talking about this one. Do you think Matheus Nunes will be a very good addition for the team of Manchester City?
I think it's quite going to be a very good one. Matheus Nunes crossing over to there is a Manchester City is quite going to be a very good one. We've seen Manchester City losing in a very key players that actually we didn't expect that would leave the camp this very season, being it that they won, they collected all the trophies in Europe last season, I should say. That squad for last season was quite a very good one. This season, I don't see actually Manchester City doing very well like they performed last year. Much as they've not lost any of their games in the three English Premier League games that actually they've taken part in. But this season, I really don't see Manchester City performing quite so well like they did last season. So Nunes crossing over to there is a Manchester City is quite a very good add-on, I should say. I think Pep, in his absence, is trying to see where actually to close on to the loopholes of some of the holes, I should say, or some of the vacant places that are the key players that actually left to cross to other clubs, how they can try to actually fit in. So I think they're trying to add on with the transfers the summer's closing up. You said a minute to midnight today?
A minute to midnight.
Tomorrow, I think we're waking up to a lot of shocking news. With you know, we've seen a lot of in the past years, we've seen a lot of deals being hijacked at the door, and all that. So the ones you've just read through are actually done deals. It's quite a very good one that Manchester City needs to do add-ons. Even actually, it's not Nunez that they only have to stop in. They need at least 2 more add-ons into that very squad to see to it that they be very competent like for last season.
Meanwhile, Alex will be the former attacker for the team of Arsenal, who did make that move to Everton way back in 2019. As I talk right now, he's set for his medicals to cross over to Fulham, and at the same time, Nottingham Forest, they're also looking for a way if they can be in position to sign Hudson-Odoi from the team of Chelsea. And also this one for the Arsenal fans, Nuno Tavares has also completed a loan move from Arsenal to the team of Nottingham Forest. And still talking about Manchester City, as Nunes crosses over to Man City, their midfielder Doyle also crossing to that Wolves, a midfielder. And with Chelsea, they have already completed the signing of Cole Palmer, as I said, from Manchester City. And will this guy be in? He's an attacker, a versatile player. You draft him as a number 10, he will still perform very well. You draft him maybe to the left-hand side of the wing, or to the right-hand side of the wing, that guy will still perform. You think this guy will spice up the attacking force of Chelsea?
Chelsea really needs a lot of add-ons for the fact that they've missed out in there is I should say the European nights, the Thursday, Wednesday games. We don't see Chelsea. I think they really need a lot of add-ons to see to it that this very season they play very well to join the rest of the giant teams. Chelsea is a giant team that is, according to me, they're very legendary. So if they're doing also add-ons to there is the squad, meaning they're actually looking into being competitors, or actually looking to compete or cross over to there is the European nights come next season, because this season last season they didn't perform so quite well. That's why they have missed out, and we've not seen them anywhere in the draws and all that. So I think Chelsea coming up to add on a few players is quite a very good one. We also pray that their deals work out, because they really need to work on almost in all departments. They need to tighten the midfield department. Even they need proven strikers where we'll be seeing goals coming through. In the 3 games that actually Chelsea have been taking part in, I've not really been seeing quite a brilliant performance, I should say, star performances and all that. No, Chelsea need proven players to actually catch up with the rest of the clubs, I should say.
Meanwhile, in German Bundesliga, Union Berlin, they have already completed the signing of Leonardo Bonucci from Juventus, Klaassen from Ajax. He came to Everton, he was a failure, and as I talk right now, he has already passed his medicals to become as a player for Inter Milan. And in Liverpool, they are at the verge of completing a deal for Ryan Gravenberch. This guy is 21 years of age. He comes from Netherlands, and the team of Bayern Munich signed him from the team of Ajax because Joshua Kimmich is the favored babysitter in the team of Bayern Munich, and they want to sell this guy away. And Liverpool, they have signed so many midfielders. Alex McAllister, we know about him. Zobzlai is one of them, and recently signing him from Stuttgart, and again they are going for Ryan Gravenberch. Do you think this guy will change much in the team of Liverpool, and is a babysitter, plays more at number 6?
I think it's quite going to be a very good one. That is for Team Liverpool. We've seen Liverpool. Actually, Liverpool is, I should say, is in a sad state, or a sorry state, because we've seen Liverpool was stepping in to actually there is a Jurgen has come in to sort out players that actually he feels he needs to add on into there is their group. But then we've seen players rejecting Liverpool. So I think there is something at Liverpool that actually we don't know, because we saw at least 2. Caicedo rejected them. We saw Lavia rejecting them. So basically, it's quite a very bad one for their team Liverpool, and they need to do add-ons a few hours between now up to actually a minute to there is midnight when the summer transfer windows get to close up. If Liverpool really do this very one, it's going to be quite a very good one for them, because last season Liverpool, no, they also didn't perform. This season there are 3 games. They started with Chelsea on a bad notice and all that. So it's also quite a very bad one for there is a team, Liverpool. Liverpool and Chelsea actually need to do a lot of add-ons into their group to actually come back to their glory days to compete with the rest of the clubs.
Meanwhile, Dean Henderson, Manchester United goalkeeper, has already completed his move to Crystal Palace, and then on the other side, Baintiri has already completed the move to Manchester United. He is someone from Turkey, and we have taken long in the first half of the show. We needed to balance the time such that, as we said, when we'll be getting to the second half of the show, we will basically be talking about the draws of the UEFA Champions League that was done yesterday. Even at the same time, we also need to get comments from the viewers, how they think about the draws that was done in the UEFA Champions League. At the same time, I also feel we don't need to leave out before we go for the first half break is Spurs. They are looking for a way if they can be in position to sign Gallagher from the team of Chelsea, and Manchester United still in the deal of Amrabat and Hoiberg, and also Yao Palina, who has been eyed by Liverpool, is also at the verge of joining Bayern Munich, and the team Fulham is looking for Hoiberg, then the Danish from the team of Spurs as his replacement. And one game to be played in the English Premier League tonight is between Luton Town and West Ham. West Ham will be traveling away to Luton Town. We'll discuss these fixtures tomorrow. We are yet going for a break. My name is Oraku Benson Pastore, together with Suzy Linda. Don't move away from your TV.